Ah, 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 ah. Hello, world. It's me again. It's the Don, the Senator Smooth and Rude, coming to you live from the 7-5. Cause we global, baby. Yeah. This the mansion in the sky podcast where we build a lamb while we drive it. And that's why we strive to become envious, which is unconquerable and influential in all areas and aspects of our life. Our focus here at the mansion is to learn. Whoo! It's the what? It's to learn lessons from current events, either global or local, and apply it. And also staying in the mix about technology and health in a cold, calculated, and ever so changing world. So welcome to the home of the anti-hero. I got my coffee. Vanilla creamer. Take my hood off so y'all can see the waves. Whew. And before I give you guys the word of the day, I'm going to tell you guys what the topic is for today. The topics. You know how I do two topics. I give you a Donism. I give you the word of the day. So the first topic today is going to be about the eviction. Um. I don't know how to say the word, but basically, when they were telling people that, hey, look, you don't have to pay rent for a couple months, which in turn turns to a couple years. Sick. So we're going to talk about the update on that from your president, Sleepy Joe. Then after that, then we're going to talk about uploading your mind to a digital world. That's what I'm really looking forward to getting to. So I'm not going to harp on the first topic or the word of the day too long. And my Donism isn't going to be that long because that's what I want to spend the bulk of my time talking about, uploading your mind and transcending your body, your human body. Because this is where society is going. Singularity is what, in a sense, is called. And I can't wait to get into that. Uh, uh, one of my friends sent the article to me. Thank you, sweetie. Because we were talking about it earlier this week. Yeah, we were talking about it earlier this week. And she seen it, came across it online, and thought about me and sent it to me. So thank you, sweetie, for supporting me, having my back, and supporting the podcast as we're in the beginning stages of something that's going to be bigger than myself and everybody who's involved. So I'm excited. So, the Donism. Donism. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. Over here, we believe in peace, quiet, and freedom. Shout out to my aunt, Coach Greg Adams. That's how we live. And that's our goal. It's peace, quiet, and freedom. If you infringe on any of those three, you got to go. We don't engage in stupid games because we don't have the room. Physical, mental, emotional room. Spiritual room for stupid games. So, play stupid games, win stupid prizes. Word of the day. this word really ties into the second topic, which I'm really excited for. Transmigrate, which is a verb. Oh, hold up. Let me get my screens together. All right, so word of the day. Transmigrate, verb. Other forms of the word: transmigrated, transmigrating, and transmigrates. So the definition is to cause and go from one state of existence to another place. Also, of the soul, which is more so primarily the definition that we will be talking about in the technology segment, to pass at death from one body to being to another, which would be the internet or a server or an interface or maybe a software. But I wouldn't expect to see it in our lifetime. I would expect to see this in at the least 50 years, but definitely in 100 years from now. So your grandkids, when they're old, our grandkids, when they're old, will definitely see what the second topic is talking about. So, first topic: flood of evictions predicted with end of pandemic moratorium. Wow. Never happened. But COVID rental relief is running out. Sick. The flood of evictions many housing advocates expected after the eviction moratorium was struck down in court last summer did not materialize. Officials point to multiple efforts to help millions of people stay in their homes, including the $46 billion in rental relief funneled through state and local governments, which was amounted to more than 4.7 million payments to help people avoid evictions during the pandemic. Now, the reason I personally am not going to elaborate on this as much as, one, this is not a political channel. Oh, shit. That's uploading. Oh, that's done. Well, we'll go ahead and finish that. Nah, don't do that. One, I pay my rent on time, so I don't care. I ain't worried about it. So that's number one. I don't need to know about it. Number two, this is not a political channel, podcast. That's not what we focus on here. We focus on just understanding where the trends are going. Current trends are future events. I believe that's the saying, something like that. Because we want the best quality of life. That's what it is that we want. This is the mansion. We build the land while we drive it. But, excuse me. Most of that money will be used by the middle of this year. Despite a slow start last year, officials announced on Wednesday that approximately $30 billion in emergency rental assistance was spent or obligated as of the end of February. President Biden has signaled affordable housing was a top priority with his proposed 2023 budget unveiled earlier this week. But money for measures to increase affordable housing lies in the hands of Congress. According to the eviction lab at Prentice University, eviction filings remain well below normal pre-pandemic levels. Is that really so? Their researchers suggested that this could be in part due to the emergency rental assistance. Treasury Department data showed more than 80% of the rental assistance was delivered to very low income households last year, and many of those recipients were people of color and women. Okay. When the emergency rental assistance money was included as part of the COVID relief measures passed by Congress in late 2020 and early 2021, the U.S. had no national infrastructure to help people behind on rent keep from being evicted. Federal, state, and local officials across the country had to scramble to get programs in place. It has helped keep eviction rates well below historic averages throughout the pandemic. As the money runs out, officials are pushing for state and local governments to use other federal funds to help struggling renters and to bolster other housing efforts. The American Rescue Plan included $350 billion in money for state and local governments, which can go toward this effort. As of the end of 2021, some $11 billion in funds have already been committed for housing efforts, from rental and mortgage assistance and eviction prevention efforts to affordable housing. We hope that what this will do is support both the lasting eviction prevention infrastructure as well as provide a springboard for much needed investments in affordable housing supply. Using the money to increase the amount of affordable housing has been a major area of interest for state, local, and tribal governments across this country, from cities to rural communities. As of the end of last year, more than 350 governments have put state and local recovery money toward housing, a figure expected to grow this year. Where y'all gonna get all this money from? This comes as the cost of rent is on the rise nationwide. The average monthly rent landlords were asking for in January was up a record 15.2% from a year ago, according to a report by Redfin. The national median monthly mortgage payment for home buyers was up 25%, the biggest increase in Redfin's records. Sick. That's sick. It shouldn't even be. Man. I mean, I'm not worried about it because I do what I need to do. It's just me. That's not an issue for me. But what you gonna do? What are you gonna do? What is the solution? You keep on throwing money at it, but I don't know. Maybe a solution, maybe actually put people on to programs where they can actually get some real money somewhere. That way they don't have to beg for government assistance. Yeah, I see in this article it says, what? Women are the ones, women and minorities, people of color are the ones primarily using the assistance. Well, sound like to me they need something to do to get some money. That's not illegal. But man, crazy world. Crazy world, man. Oh yeah. And once again, this is a late night, early morning stream. All right. Moving into the topic that I really want to talk about. Once again, thank you, sweetie, for sending this to me. I appreciate that. That means a lot. That means that you support what I do, and you get points for that. You get points for that. So, live longer for 150 years in metaverse, but only if you are willing to permanently leave your physical body and become a living app. Ask yourself, would you really want to live forever? or for 150 more, or just for 150 years. Not even in your body that you are used to, and not even with the entirety of the memories that you had as a or well, maybe 2,500 years from now, they perfected so well that your soul just moves, and it goes from era to ever, and then you never actually really die. Who knows? It's interesting. So let's go. This article is coming to us. This article is coming to us March 29th, 2022. ScienceTimes.com. Margaret Davis. Humans have always been fascinated about being immortal. With the advancements in digital technologies, eternal life could become possible, but only in virtual reality, as people who would need to leave their physical bodies behind and become living apps and live in the metaverse. This is why I keep bringing up the metaverse. They're trying to make all possibilities possible. These are the ambitious weirdos, the A-dubs. Anything is gonna go. Anything pretty much already goes. I'm trying to give you, look, we building the lamb as we drive it. But we're all trying to figure out, or we're all gonna need to figure out what our niche is gonna be in this new world. And we need to figure that out quick. Because the people who I'm gonna show you later on, I think it's on this one. I'm gonna show you later on how ambitious these companies are, who are all pouring into this new reality, this simulated world that they're gonna put out here. And I love talking about it because it's so interesting. It's so interesting. And everybody's gonna be able to have a place in this world, but we have to claim the spots now. So you got to figure out your niche, because what you're gonna see is I'll go to it. I'll talk about it briefly for a second after I get done reading this article. But what you're gonna see is I Am Legend. That's gonna happen. Uh, I'm not saying I'm the one who's predicting this, but I mean it speaks for itself. I Am Legend is gonna happen. All of those movies where the computers become so intelligent, so smart, so out of control that it can't be controlled, it's gonna happen. Is it gonna happen in our lifetime? Maybe, maybe not. Is it happening right now? Probably. Who knows? But it's just something that I believe is important to know. And also some motivation to let you know that you need to dream bigger. You need to dream bigger. You need to get people behind you who support you and do it. Don't matter how you do it, but just do it. Well, it does matter how you do it. I mean, I'm pretty sure a lot of these companies got some type of something illegal going on, but try not to do anything illegal because they're going to be able to predict that too. I mean, every single keystroke, every biometric, every mouse click, every time you talk, you see evidence of it on the phones through the advertisements. They on your ass. They know you. They know you better than you know yourself. So they'll be able to simulate what you're going to do and how you're going to move and what you're going to react to. And in combination with every single thing that you've ever inserted online, they're going to be able to put it together and simulate you. So stay human. Stay human. And, you know, me, I just wanted to do something that was bigger than me. And I feel like I know this is bigger than me. I know that people will look back on these videos 10, 20, 30, 40 years from now and say, man, this brother was on to something. And I'm not even gonna lie. Sometimes when I'm researching this stuff and I'm looking through it, I have mixed emotions. I'm a little scared. I'm a tad bit scared, but I'm more excited than I am scared, because the future is gonna be. You think it's good now, the future, if your glass is half full, it could change your life for the good, not the bad. So, you know, the dawn coming to you from 2050. So let's get into it. Humans have always been fascinated with being immortal. With the advancements in digital technologies, eternal life could become possible, but only in virtual reality. As people who would need to leave their physical bodies behind and become living apps and live in the metaverse. Russian billionaire Dmitry Itskov, who is part of the 2045 Initiative, a nonprofit organization that aims to extend humans' lifespans, said that artificial bodies could become a reality by 2045, allowing people to move out of their old bodies and move into the internet. He sees this becoming possible through AI and metaverse technologies. I'm telling you, the boys ain't playing. The boys are not playing. The media mogul said that the 2045 initiative intends to let people make independent decisions on extending their lives and live in a new body after their biological body has been exhausted. This concept is called mind uploading. Remember that, which will make digital copies of people's mind that could freely live in cyberspace unrestricted by their biology. Elon Musk, Neuralink, and other similar companies have been exploring metaverse technologies that could form the basis of future whole brain uploading. The boy's not playing. Why think little when you why think small when you can think enormous and do it? The The amounts of people that these forward free thinking people have behind them, believing and working on what it is that they want and believe the future should be. These people, they got all the money in the world. It's almost like money don't even matter to them. It's like, hey, next, I want to change the course of history. And this right here, this is going to change the course of history forever. When it happens, it's going to be wild. The amount of crimes that's going to happen, it's going to be wild. Just imagine, if you will, you get to become a famous saxophone player, saxophonist, performed in every corner of the world in front of tens of millions of people. Career spanning over 25 years, 25, 30 years. You still look young even though you're old. And you got your hands dipped in all kinds of things, and you're still relevant in the metaverse, Web3. And of course you got haters, but you have some ambitious weirdos, some A-dubs. You got A-dubs who want your soul, literally want your soul, literally want to come take your soul. So that's what they do. They run up on you in your house, and I don't know how they gonna do this, but they take your soul and they hold on to that. And if they want, they can communicate to you by maybe plugging, let's say they put your soul on a USB or in the cloud. They talk to you whenever they want to. But now they about to make hella money off of you because they got your body. So as long as your body is here, they just gonna keep on doing what they do. Or, oh man, hold up. This crazy. This gonna be crazy. Or they can take your soul out your body, keep your body alive, and put your soul back in your body whenever they're ready for you to go out and play another show. And then as soon as you done with your show and you done with your appearances, they come and they take your soul out and put you back in the cloud. Man, it'd be stuff like that I'd be scared of. That's the stuff right there that really throws me off. This is why this is my favorite segment, because it's just like the amount of good that could come out of it. I think I don't even know what kind of good will come out of this. It's up. I mean, you still gonna be here. But I don't know. My mind just goes to the bad. At least on this one. All right. Musk is planning to commercialize a humanoid robot called Optimus Prime. Optimus. I said Optimus Prime. Optimus by next year that can take after its owner's personality traits and act just like them. Aside from that, self-described futurist Tom Cheesewright said that AI and metaverse technologies could one day let humans input their consciousness, although that might take a while. Cheesewright said that it is ultimately possible. The process of mind uploading, according to interesting engineering, mind uploading is the hypothetical process of separating the consciousness of the person from his body, converting it into a digital format and transferring the digital consciousness into the machine. It could be through different steps, such as mind copying, mind transfer, mind preservation, and whole brain emulation. The very first step in this process, just imagine if they would have did this with Michael Jackson. Ain't no telling they might have. Like, these concepts aren't old. Need I remind you that in the early 1900s, I'm talking about like at the beginning of the turn of that century, Nikola Tesla was talking about one day we will be able to send messages electronically. What you think he was talking about? You know all them news you be sending? Cause you miss me and you want me to clap them cheeks from the bike? That's what he was talking about. He was talking about he wanted one of them European thotties to send him some nudes electronically back in 1902. But he ain't had the technology to do it. But he said that back in the day. People have been thinking about doing this. And honestly, they probably already have. They've been showing this in movies for a long time. A long time. So if that's the case, is it a possibility that they already have it somewhere in a cave somewhere? Y'all know I like my caveman analogies. Is it a possibility that they have this already figured out? The public is not ready for this. Public is not ready for this. I wonder if China has this, because all I'm seeing is Russians. All I see is Russians. The Russians be on it. The Chinese don't play. We don't play either. We really don't play. All right. Let me get through this. The very first step in this process involves getting information from the brain, which has more than 125 trillion synapses in a cerebral cortex alone. Some suggest that it would be necessary to dissect the brain first for the information to be completely replicated. But mind uploading advocates a non-invasive brain procedure that can provide sufficient solutions for copying the information in the brain without killing the person. The second step, depending on who it is, they wouldn't give two shits. Let's just put that out there. Like, let's say if it was me. They probably wouldn't give a fuck. But if it was Mike, they would do everything in their power to keep Mike Jack alive. Just in case their copy of his soul glitched up or got corrupted somehow. Cause you gotta think of it like a JPEG. Nah, not a JPEG. Like a software with files and code. And sometimes when you try to move softwares to either different type of, I use Windows. Different types of Windows computers, everything may not transfer. And if you don't have an extra copy of it, then, sucks to suck. So, Mike Jack, they probably keep around me. They probably be like, another one bites dust. All right, let me get through this. Let me read this up. Second step involves the reconstruction of the artificial brain. A rough estimate published in Scientific American shows that the memory storage capacity of the brain could reach up to 2.5 petabytes, which will be 2,500 terabytes. I need that. I need that on the hard drive. Therefore, the artificial brain should be able to process this large memory. As of now, the largest artificial neural network called GPT-3 has only one a 300th times the capacity of that brain, which is still a lot. That's still a lot of memory. I could use that and be good. The last step is matching the consciousness to a substrate like a metaverse or into a network of artificial brains connected. Another option is Musk's Optimus humanoid robot, wherein the physical robot would act as the new physical body of a person. These steps will take a lot of time, effort, and money from scientists, researchers, and tech companies working towards mind uploading. Whether if it will be a success or not, only time will tell. Eventually, they're gonna figure it out. Eventually, I'm telling you, these people are they A-dubs. They are A-dubs. Mind uploading. This is the belief that human beings can transmigrate into machine bodies. Mind uploading is predicated on the claim that human minds are patterns of neurochemical activity taking place in a body and or brain, as that pattern could, in theory, be replicated in another substrate, like a computer. They could have said medium. The mind can be copied to this new home and acquire immortality, barring catastrophic destruction of the machines where the mind is housed and backed up. So, forewarning, when this does happen, you know how to kill it. This is how you kill it right here. You kill the computer. You pull the plug and make sure that hoe cannot duplicate itself. Because something is controlling something. You get me? Just like with us humans. Our brain is controlling our bodies. But without our hearts, we can't keep living. The heart is like the engine. Or is the brain like the engine? One of those two. Kill the computer. Kill the main interface. And when this shit show happens, you'll know how to bring back order. So, mind uploading first appeared in A.C. Clarke's science fiction novel, The City in the Stars, but gained its first sustained scientific description in Hans Moravec, Mind Child. Moravec described an operation whereby the brain is carefully dissected and its pattern replicated in a machine, thereby transferring consciousness from the biological body. Subsequent mind uploading advocates have claimed that non-invasive brain scans will provide sufficient resolutions for mind copying or uploading without actually killing the biological origin. They're gonna sell the hell out this. This is more so a little bit more in depth on the history of mind uploading, copying. What was the term that they used at the end whole brain emulation. And please excuse all the noises outside. I got my window open, and I live right beside a main road. And eventually, I'll move into the studio, but I'm quite comfortable right here. I'm not even going to cap. I'm good right here. I'm good. I'm enjoying it. Hopefully, y'all have enjoyed all the episodes up until this point. It's only gonna get better, and I hope that you guys are really learning something from this, and I hope that these episodes are helpful. I hope this is something that is a necessity for you guys and gals out there, and I hope that you all are inspired to become envious, which is unconquerable and influential in every way, in everything that you do, whether you're a gamer, whether you're a YouTuber, whether you're a musician, whether you're a doctor, whether you're a manager or of a fast food restaurant, whether you're a CEO of some company, whether you're the boss of your own life. I hope that you want to become envious. The neuroscientist who wants to upload humanity to a computer, Mr. Cohen, is recruiting top scientists to help him make humans live forever. Now where's the interview part? Well, these are all movies that are actually doing it. And this is a long article. I think I'm gonna actually watch some of these movies too, like a Space Odyssey. But yeah, is this the one? Yeah. Let's see. I'll give you. We'll give a little bit. Now this right here, pictures of the brain. Let's see. I'm moving here a little bit, just a little bit. It's interesting, man. It's interesting, man. Like this life is really interesting. It really is what you make it. All right, I'm not gonna read the whole thing, but we're gonna tap each paragraph. Everything felt possible at Transhuman Visions 2014, a conference in February billed as a forum for visionaries to describe our fast approaching, brilliant, and bizarre future. Inside an old waterfront military depot in San Francisco's Fort Mason Center, young entrepreneurs hawked experimental smart drugs and coffee made with a special kind of butter they said provided cognitive enhancements. On stage, a speaker with a shaved head and a thick black beard held forth on DIY sensory augmentation. A group called Science for the Masses, he said, was developing a pill that would soon allow humans to perceive the near infrared spectrum. Sounds kind of like DMT or LSD. He personally had implemented tiny magnets into his outer ears so that he could listen to music converted into vibrations by what? He personally had implanted tiny magnets into his outer ears so that he could listen to music converted into vibrations by a magnetic coil attached to his phone. Hey, that's what's up. Definitely ahead of his time. Hey, the A-dubs, man. Ain't nothing wrong with being an A-dub. It's just you got something that's on that shit. None of this seemed particularly, oh my goodness, ambitious. However, compared with the claims soon to follow, in the back of the audience, carefully reviewing his notes, sat Randall Cohen, a bespectacled neuroscientist wearing black cargo pants, a black t-shirt showing a brain on a laptop screen, and a pair of black shiny boots. He had came to explain to the assembled crowd how to live forever. As a species, we really only inhabit a small sliver of time and space. Cohen said when he took the stage, we want. Oh, this is what he said when he took a stage. Took the stage. We want a species that can be effective and influential and creative in a much larger sphere. Cohen's solution was straightforward. He planned to upload his brain to a computer. By mapping a brain, reducing its activity to computations, and reducing those computations in code, Cohen argued humans could live indefinitely emulated by silicon. When I say emulation, you should think of it, for example, in the same sense as emulating a Macintosh on a PC. It's kind of like platform independent code. The audience sat silent, possibly awed, possibly confused, as Cohen led them through a complex tour of recent advances in neuroscience supplemented with charts and graphs. Cohen had always had a complicated relationship with transhumanists, who likewise believe in elevating humanity to another plane. The concept of brain emulation has a long, colorful history in science fiction. It is also deeply rooted in computer science. An entire subfield known as neural networking is based on the physical architecture and biological rules that underpin neuroscience. Roughly 85 billion individual neurons make up the human brain, each one connected to as many as 10,000 others via branches called axons and dendrites. In the 1940s, psychologist Warren McCulloch, and mathematician Walter Pitts suggested a simple way to describe brain activity using math. A few years later, Canadian psychologist Donald Hebb suggested that memories are nothing more than associations encoded in a network. In the brain, those associations are formed by neurons firing simultaneously or in sequence. Oh, I got that early morning thing going on. It's getting hard to read big words. But we're going to push through because the show must go on. Using these insights, computer engineers have created artificial neural networks capable of forming associations of learning. Of course, any neuroscientist will tell you that the artificial neural networks don't begin to incorporate the true complexity of the human brain. Researchers have yet to characterize the many ways neurons interact and have yet to grasp how different chemical pathways affect the likelihood that they will fire. But such networks remain perhaps the strongest illustration of an assumption crucial to the hopes and dreams of Randall Cohen, that our identity is nothing more than the behavior of individual neurons and the relationships between them. And that the most of the activities of the brain, if technology were capable of recording and analyzing them, can theoretically be reduced to computations. On a warm afternoon in late January, I follow Cohen up the stairs of the second floor walk up he shares with his girlfriend on the edge of San Francisco's Portero Hill. He leads me through a small living room crammed full of synthesizers and Legos and into a bedroom where his standing desk represents his home office. It holds oversized computer screens and laptops arrayed like the electronics of a starship command center. It's a modest setting, but Cohen is only in the third decade of his quest, a mere blink of an eye when you consider that his goal is immortality. Cohen, the son of a particle physicist, first discovered mind uploading at age 13 when he read the 1956 Arthur C. Clarke classic, The City and the Stars. Clarke's book describes a city 1 billion years in the future. Sheesh. Its residents live multiple lives and spend the time between them stored in the memory banks. Its residents live multiple lives and spend the time between them stored in memory banks of a central computer capable of generating new bodies. I began to think about our limits. Cohen says, ultimately, it is our biology, our brain, that is mortal. But Clarke talks about a future in which people can be constructed and deconstructed, in which people are information. I'm telling you, this new world is, we're getting ready to go into a long era for A-dubs and introverts. Straight up. This is what is going on. This is where it's going. Gangsters and thugs don't run this. It's the A-dubs. The A-dubs run this. They will be running this until humanity is no more. The A-dubs. The ambitious weirdos. The ones that you picked on in school. The ones I was cool with, but I was cool with everybody. I got bad hoes, but I still hung with a couple of A-dubs. Well, I didn't really hang with them. I was cool with them enough that, let's just say, if a school shooting would have happened, they would have looked at me like, yo, you need to go home. And I would have been like, why? And they would have been like, hey, look, tell Eric, Raheem, Andre, tell them go home. Because y'all don't want to be here today. You know, the A-dubs. Ambitious weirdos. You know, the ones who always have something to prove to everybody. And I get it. You know, you never got the credit. No one ever praised you. No one ever validated you, man. But, you know, man, as life is what you make it. And so you gotta get out the house. Can't play video games all day long. And sometimes you gotta get your head out the book, man. And go get your dick sucked. Even if she is fat. Alright. It was a vision Cohen decided worth devoting his life to pursuing. He began by studying physics in college, believing a route to his goal lay in finding ways to reconstitute patterns of individual atoms. By the time he graduated, however, he concluded that all he really needed was a digital brain. So he enrolled in a master's program at Delft University of Technology in the Netherlands, where he focused on neural networks and AI. It was a while at Delft in '94 that Cohen made an important discovery, a community of people who shared his ambition. You always go where you're celebrated. That was my damn Donism. Usually I write them down. That was the damn Donism. Go where you're celebrated. My Donism was not play stupid games, win stupid prizes. That wasn't shit. That was not my Donism. And yeah, once I do move to the other studio, well, this ain't even a studio. This just out in the living room. But once I move into the studio, I won't be smoking on the camera anymore. So, you know, I won't be smoking on the camera. I curse less. because I want people to listen. I want my target audience to be as large as it possibly could be. But I know with some people who like to listen to things like this, uninterrupted. And I don't want them to have any type of biases. That's why I insert my opinions in between, but for the most part, I stay objective and I just let it speak for itself. I'm just inquisitive. I'm an inquisitive, unique. You have ambitious weirdos and inquisitive uniquers. And I'm curious and I'm unique. But I'm not slow. I think I need to add that to my dictionary. I'm making a dictionary right now. So every episode I add more words to it. So right now in the dictionary I have uck, which is fuck without the F, and ambitious weirdos, A-dubs. Y'all know them. But thing is, a lot of the ambitious weirdos don't do a whole lot of talking. You got them in the hood, you have them in suburbs, you have them in high society. These technology segments are full of A-dubs. Motherfuckers who just wanted to get their dick sucked and wanted to be laid up all weekend with a relatively decent plain Jane, but got carried. So now they out to prove the world wrong. Dude, relax. But it is what it is. All right. I have a whole lot of other articles that I am going to get to. So we're getting close to the hour mark. So this may go into about an hour 30. But this is interesting because this is really the beginnings of it. The beginnings of it was through fiction, as in book authors were writing about it, as in art imitating life, or no, this is a case of life imitating art. Life imitated art, and now, hold on, did I say that right? Yeah, life imitated art, and it's about to be reality. Like, this guy probably won't be alive to see this happen. But he the Tupac of it. So anyway. Back in 94, at this university, after he became associated with this community of like-minded and A-dubs, or IUs, they explored the new medium of the internet, or he explored and found Mind Uploading homepage owned by Joe Strutt, an Ohio-born computer buff, aspiring neuroscientist, and self-described immortalist. Strutt facilitated a discussion group that Cohen quickly joined, and its members began to debate whether extracting information from the brain was technologically feasible, and if it was, what they should call it: downloading, uploading, or mind transfer. They eventually settled on whole brain emulation, and then they outlined career goals that would help them advance their cause. Cohen chose to pursue a PhD in computational neuroscience at McGill University, and later landed at a Boston University neurophysiology lab, where he attempted to replicate mice brain activity on a computer. Strutt pursued an advanced degree in neuroscience, then moved on to a lab of a computational biologist at the Salk Institute. We were all trying to push research problems in whatever way we could. Short says, the trouble was that for the elder neuroscience researchers, that wasn't a topic they could discuss publicly. They would talk about it over a beer, but it was too fringe for people who were trying to get grants for research. No cap. No cap. You know, right now, and this is back in '94. But right now, we're living through the pussification of America. This is the pussification. Well, not this article, but this era that we're living through right now is the pussification of America. The moisturization of America is happening right now. So, when you're a forward-thinking person, when you're not afraid to be yourself, when you're cool with the hand that you were dealt and you play it better than everybody else, people get their G-strings in a knot. People get their silk boxes in a knot. So, then you have to find communities of people who think the same way that you think. And that's just what it is. That is just what it is. Moving along. All right. So he left the university. He created a website called carboncopies.org, which serves as a hub for mind uploading advocates. He had also made a lot of contacts. Let's see. There's a lot going on outside right now. All right, so we're not gonna go through the whole entire thing, but some movies where life imitated the art is, of course, the one that started it, that popped it off, jumped it off for Mr. Cohen, City in the Stars, and that's just such an interesting concept. 1 billion years from now, in the city of Diaspora, a central computer creates new bodies for a rotating group of citizens, storing their minds and its memory banks between lives. Essentially, they living forever. So they've been alive forever. The creation of humanoids. One way to know if your friends aren't droids with mind uploads is to stake out the human temple around 4 a.m. That's when human personalities shut off for an hour and humanoids make their daily pilgrimage back to headquarters. Ooh, sheesh. What are little girls made of? Star Trek. A lovelorn Enterprise nurse beams down to Earth, XO3, with Kirk to search for her fiance. At last, he turns out to be a mad scientist who transferred himself to an android body after suffering frostbite. 1968, 2001, A Space Odyssey. In the film's finale, mission pilot David Bowman hurdles through space and time until he is formed into a feudal being enclosed in an orb of light. A reference to mind uploading explained in Arthur Clarke's novel of the same name. That's crazy. Tron. Not only does an underhanded and man, I want to watch these movies bad. And I've always loved sci-fi movies. I've always loved sci-fi movies, man. Always. They're so interesting, man. The human mind is really It's a wonder. It's it's a wonder. It really is. I grew up a Christian, so I believe in God. But whatever you believe in, whatever created the human body, more specifically the brain, I find that a lot of us pray the same. So let's go ahead and send one up for all the creators, which is probably the same one. But trust me, I'm someone that you could have a conversation with. Whether you're an atheist, whether you're a Buddhist, doesn't matter. We could actually have a conversation about religion. But we're not going to do that. Not on my airlines, not on my airwaves, not on my internet. We're not doing that on this podcast. But I'm just saying, let's go ahead and send one up for whoever designed this brain, these brains, because they're amazing. They are. And the fact that you can't even access the entire brain, and when you do, just so happen to tap into a couple of more percentages of the brain, then you can regularly do that. Man, all I'm going to say is I've unlocked more of the brain, and the brain is the greatest invention ever given to planet Earth. It is. The brain, the human brain, is the greatest invention given to planet Earth. It's so great that it's going to create something that will destroy it. Not intentionally. AI. This right here. It's so great that we're going to figure out a way to live forever. Hey, you know how people have deja vu? Could this be something? Could this be it? Could we be in a simulation? Somewhere in one of these articles that I looked up, it said something along those lines. I know a lot of people believe in reincarnation. I'm not going to say I am. I'm not going to say I don't. But I like to think about it. I know what I was raised on, and that's where I'm going to stay. Unless there's something that's going to prove me otherwise, I'm going to stay where I am. But why not at least understand what it is and why maybe someone would believe in reincarnation? Why maybe somebody might say, hey, I've already seen that already, as in deja vu. Maybe this could be something that contributes to the deja vu. Maybe the people have already been here through mind uploading in another universe and somehow migrated to this sector of the universe in this simulation. That's what they want to do with planet Earth, is turn it into a simulation. Interesting, man. Interesting. And I haven't even gotten through all the articles that I want to pull up. I mean, we're getting there. We're getting there. Yeah. Free Jack. The Sixth Day. This has Arnold Schwarzenegger in it. In the future, an eye scan copies brain contents for transfer to a clone body. When Arnold Schwarzenegger returns home to discover his clone has moved in with his family. He recruits him to help blow up the cloning facility. Battlestar Galactica, dying in battle isn't that big a deal to members of the cybernetic civilization called the Cylons. They have backup copies of their brains and can simply upload them to new bodies when something goes wrong. Avatar, Transcendence, anti-technologists in the Unabomber, mold target, and AI researchers working to bring about the singularity before dying. He uploads his mind into a computer and becomes a power-hungry megalomaniac. They say how to store it. Do I have another? I kind of wanted to go through brothers interview. Let's see what comes out of that. Oh, okay, cool. Let's go ahead. I mean, I did skip through a whole bunch, but I basically got through it. All right, how to store a brain. While the first upload of a human brain remains decades, if not centuries away, proponents believe humanity may be far closer to reaching another key technological milestone, a preservation technique that could store a brain indefinitely without damaging its neurons or the trillions of microscopic connections between them. If we could put the brain into a state in which it does not decay, then the second step could be done 100 years later. To promote this goal, he says the first stage of the competition. So he basically trying to recruit. He's recruiting anybody who can do it with a mouse brain. Current preservation methods, aside from cryonics, which has never successfully been demonstrated to preserve the brain's wiring, involve pumping chemicals through the body that can fix proteins and lipids in place. The brain is then removed and immersed in a series of solutions that dehydrate naturally occurring water and replace it with a plastic resin. The resin prevents chemical reactions that cause decay, preserving the brain's intricate architecture. But in order for all of the chemicals to fully permeate brain tissue, scientists must first slice the organ into sections 100 to 500 microns thick, a process that destroys information stored in connections made along those surfaces. There was a tool developed, or someone developed a protocol that appears to safeguard all of the brain's synapses. It preserves the extracellular space in the brain so that the chemicals can diffuse through myriad layers of the whole organ. If the brain is sliced and analyzed at a future date, all of its circuitry will remain visible. Hayworth is currently using electron microscopy to examine the mouse brains sent to him as proof of principle. If immortality is defined as brain preservation via plastination, then it is a reasonable extrapolation of his research results. But as for actually uploading it to a computer, who can predict these things? Science is modern day magic. And in the absence of a strong argument against the future feasibility of mind uploading, anything is possible. Yep, they're going to do it. Eventually, they're going to get there. Would I do it? I don't know if I want to be sliced. I think when it's my time, it's my time. And I'm just going to go ahead. I don't need to live forever. Why do I need to live forever? Who knows? I may just live forever anyways without this. Unless y'all know something that we don't know, as in that we do, in fact, go bye-bye. What needs to happen before we can upload our brains to computers? Mm, I'm not going to go through this interview. I'm going to let it rock. I'm not going to go through this either or this because that article basically gave you what you needed. It's a wonderful world out here. Now, what I do want to get to is some of the companies that are in this business. Some of the players that are into this. Hold on. Why is it not coming up? Give me a second as I pull it up. I'm not sure why I don't want to pull up. Hold on. Do this real quick. Bring it back here. I appreciate everybody that's been rocking with me through this. Send me articles. I'll go through them. I'll break them down best I can. You see them waves? Wheels stop. Waves keep spinning. All right. Transcending biology. This is how ambitious these people are. So this is the sir that we just read about, Mr. Randall Cohen. This is his website right here, carboncopies.org. Now, this particular page that I'm on right now was a workshop that was da, 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 da. It was held. Okay, he was a moderator. It was held in San Francisco. Okay. Where does it say? Yeah. So this was held in San Francisco, January 28th, 2018. The website, basically he put it together. These are all the speakers. I didn't even think to even look up the speakers, but I did look at the sponsors because I didn't want to go too far down this rabbit hole, is what I'm saying. But I wanted to know, my thing is, like they always say, follow the money. So I followed the money just a little bit because I want to see how ambitious are you guys. Because if this is something that I need to be cautious about, then I want to see how cautious I need to be. So therefore, in return, I need to see how ambitious you are. So what I ended up doing was I looked up these two companies right here, 2045 and Fathom. So Fathom, the CEO of Fathom is Andrew Regg. I don't see his name up here. Yeah. Or William William Androg. I don't know where the hell I got the other name from. But anyway, so this just gives you an idea of the companies that are helping the visionaries build these technologies. And it also lets you know what kind of minds are behind this and how ambitious they are. The A-dubs. That's what I'm, with anything, that's how worried I am about things. The ambition level. Because if they're not ambitious, then, whatever. But let's say if Elon Musk was a bad guy, I'd be very worried. Because he's too damn ambitious. Nah, he's not too damn ambitious, but he's ambitious. Kanye, if he was crooked, I'd be like, man, you need to be worried about him. But when it comes to things like this, I just want to know, what kind of A-dubs are we going to be dealing with? So, this right here this has nothing to do with what the topic was. The topic is mind uploading. Transhumanism. So not transgender, but transhumanism as in living forever, immortality. This right here. So let's go through it. This computer and also this technology is, or the concept and the theory and the method and the model of this technology that I'm getting ready to read to you is coming from the Fathom company. I believe that's Fathom Computing, excuse me. Owned by all right, so let's get it. This computer uses light, not electricity, to train artificial intelligent algorithms. Startup Fathom Computing thinks optical computing can extend the gains of Moore's law and light the way to the future of artificial intelligence. I believe this article does tell us about Moore's law. Actually, let's look it up real quick before we even get into it. So, Moore's law refers to Gordon Moore's perception that the number of transistors on a microchip doubles every 2 years. Though the cost of computers is halved, Moore's law states that we can expect the speed and capability of our computers to increase every couple of years, and we will pay less for them. Another tenet of Moore's laws asserts that this growth is oh my gosh, I can't read. Oh man, I'm struggling with the reading right now. All right, key takeaways. Moore's law states that the number of transistors, they double every 2 years, though the cost is going to go down by half. 1965, Gordon E. Moore, the co-founder of Intel, made this observation that became known as Moore's law. Another tenet, the growth of microprocessors is exponential. So yeah, that's his law. So now that we know that, actually let me keep that pulled up because I may need to refer back to that. We already did that. Did I click? Okay, cool. All right. So, William Andrade ushers me into the cluttered workshop of his startup Fathom Computing and gently lifts the lid of it from a bulky black box. Inside, green light glows faintly. And remember, once again, this is just letting you know how ambitious the people who are building these technologies are, backing the visionaries. So this is just letting you know that what these people say goes. And letting you know the minds, and also letting you know that you need to step your ambition game up. See, I respect your ambition, but you got to have vision. Willie. Anyways, I need to get that clip up here. I got it, but I need to figure this out. I might figure that out today. Anyways, all right. Green light glows faintly from a collection of lenses, brackets, and cables that resemble an exploded telescope. It's a prototype computer that processes data using light, not electricity, and it's learning to recognize handwritten digits, code. In other experiments, the device learned to generate sentences and text. Right now, this embryonic optical computer is good, not great. On its best run, it read 90% of scrawled numbers correctly, but Androg, who co-founded Fathom late in 2014 with his brother Michael, sees it as a breakthrough. We opened the champagne when it was only at about 30%, he says with a laugh. Androg claims this is the first time such complex learning software has been trained using circuits that pulse with laser light, not electricity. The company is working to shrink its exploded telescope, which covers a few square feet of workbench, to fit into a standard cloud server. Fathom hopes the technology will become one of the shovels of the AI gold rush, which we're in right now. Tech companies, particularly large cloud providers like Amazon and Microsoft, spend heavily on computer chips to power machine learning algorithms. The current AI crazed moment began when researchers found that chips. Ooh, the lighting's getting better in here. Ain't I hands? That chips marketed for graphics were well suited to power so-called artificial neural networks for tasks such as recognizing speech or images. The stock price of leading graphics chip supplier Nvidia, Nvidia has grown more than tenfold in the past 3 years. Moore's Law. And Google and many other companies are now making or developing specialized machine learning chips of their own. I like that. I like that image right there. Fathom's founders are betting this hunger for more powerful machine learning will outstrip the capabilities of purely electronic computers. Optics has fundamental advantages over electronics that no amount of design will overcome. Hold up, read it again. Optics has fundamental advantages over electronics that no amount of design will overcome. The CEO and his brother's 11-person company is backed by Playground Global. Hold up. Okay, so I see who they are. We're gonna see who they are. We want to know what their mission statement is. We like to invest somewhere between improbable and impossible. Bro, I'm telling you, man. Look, I'm telling you. These people are ambitious. Look, we leverage our vision and deep understanding of technology to help build companies that will have multi-generational impact. They're not playing. Who have they worked for? We have over 825 million in world-class operational support to offer extraordinary teams. What? Almost a billion. We look for stellar funding teams with winning concepts in deep technology sectors as well as game-changing enterprise products. Sounds like to me, your company here. Hmm. So this is their portfolio. Let's click on one. Ambitious, man. They are not playing. And I like their website too. Yep, investment firm where old masters and new inventors can bring their visions to fruition. And what used to be an apricot cannery, there is now a vibrant community of engineers, designers, and technologists working in a 70,000 square foot facility with 5 world-class labs. So they're investing and they're building the ish. Big money. Mm, so they're into satellites. Mm, they're into automation. Well, I mean, clearly, duh. They're into AI. They're into technology, so duh, automation. But automated warehouses. So a lot of people gonna be out of jobs. Um, they're into self-driving trucks. And then this will be the last one that I deep dive into, and then I'll get back to the OG topic. So, coming to us by Forbes, if there is any place where change is constant, it is the workplace. Thanks to COVID, COVID upped everything up. 2 new waves of the Great Resignation. One in February, January, as people come back from time with family over the holidays and after they receive their bonuses. She said, hold up, time out. Uh, so Minshew, founder and CEO of The Muse, a career platform, said there will be 2 more waves of the Great Resignation in the first half of next year. One in January, February, as people come back from time with their families over the holidays and after they receive their bonuses. A second wave in the spring, once companies have finally settled into back to the office and or formalize other post-pandemic workplace arrangements. She noted that with so many people expected to change jobs in the first half of the year, it's inevitable more than a few will experience an oh no, what have I done moment in a new position when they realize maybe this job or company was not what they expected. While in the past most people would have stuck it out anyway for at least 6 to 9 months before bouncing. Younger employees, millennials, and Gen Zers don't have the same concerns about cutting the cord or jumping ship almost immediately. We're calling this phenomenon shift shock. Most employment and tax laws. All right, more than 600 employees across 15 global offices. That's how many people he oversees. Mr. Reynolds said, with more and more countries needing to account for a globalizing workforce in their tax and employment laws, this is likely a record we'll see broken again year after year. If fast-changing international and local laws and regulations will keep HR and legal teams on their toes. I can't even imagine the sleep lost by executives trying to navigate the complexities of international expansion without an expert partner to guide them. Greater competition for workers. In 2020, the competition to attract and retain top talent will get even more intense. If the great resignation seen this year has taught us anything, it's that power has shifted from employers to employees. Employees been had the power. Y'all know that. Y'all know that. It's all about control. Y'all know they need the money. That's the only reason they there. But I'm never gonna be okay with the people trying to dictate the rules of something that you don't own. It's like a regular degular. Well, nah, I can't say regular degular, but it's like a stranger walking up in my house and saying, "Hey, look, you need to rearrange that kitchen." Like, nah, I'm not. It's my shit. Take your shoes off at the door. Millions of whom feel energized by the major trends impacting the world of work. For example, the rise of the digital nomad, people who can work from anywhere, will continue to influence the working world, representing just 7% of the workforce in 2019. By 2020, this group expanded sixfold to 42%. As a result, legacy job titles and siloed roles will be replaced by functions, mindsets, and skills which can be sourced from any country in the world. In addition, remote-only teams will continue to become more common and hierarchies will flatten, she predicted. This creates a huge opportunity, but also a serious challenge to companies everywhere. All y'all got to do is just adjust. Y'all don't even need to bring the AI in there, man. Keep people employed. Don't bring the AI. Use AI for hard shit. Keep people employed, man. Y'all can still turn a profit. But they're going to bring the AI in. And people going to lose jobs. People going to have to figure something else out. So, y'all can't get mad. Y'all know what y'all want. Y'all want money. The companies want money. Y'all want to turn a profit. If 1,000 years from now Wall Street is still Wall Street, or whatever is the representation of Wall Street, y'all gonna want to impress them and be buddy with them. So the AI is gonna come in, take people's jobs, and you're gonna turn a profit. And then it's gonna be the norm. And then it's gonna be like, well, whose AI is better than whose AI? And then eventually some smart crooks gonna come in there and, take the locks off of your AI, let it get out of control, and maybe turn your systems against you. And now they do whole shit. Possibilities are just endless. Benefits will be expanded. And we will see an expansion of creative employee benefits. Following the great resignation of 2021, employers are seeking to retain employees. Everything from pet benefits, family care, to home ownership assistance is now on the table. Employers are facing an acute labor shortage, which may worsen in 2020, but money is not the only reason employees remain with the company. Acceptance and adoption of AI. So, soon we will see HR professionals double down on the implementation of AI in HR to help engage and retain talent, laying out explicit self-service career pathing and helping employees continue to grow without leaving their current organization. I think I'll be good. I think in my life I'll be good still working, and I think that a computer won't just yet take my job. I think it'll happen after I'm dead. So I'm 30. Let's say I live. Let's just say I'll live to 100. Let's just say that. That's 60 years from now. So it might, like, at the end of my life, it might come and get them jobs up off us. But we're going to start seeing it more with every decade coming along because they don't want this to happen again. They do not want this to happen again. And they don't want to pay nobody. They will pay, and there are some companies that do treat their employees well, but they don't want to pay for real. All right, we're going extra long today. Let's see. Do I really want to look at this one? I'll just glance over it and then I'll end with that. All right, Streamline digital offices. Of course, they're going to have these in the metaverse. Mark Zuckerberg already talked about this. They're doing it already. Companies will streamline their digital workplaces, reevaluating each and every tool to create a powerful digital workplace tech stack. Companies now know which tools work best and which don't work at all to engage employees, empower collaborations, and productivity. As part of this process, we will also see companies gravitate to digital workplace tools that combine multiple capabilities. For instance, data dashboards, chat, content, and task management in one place. In this new digital workplace, the less time people spend app switching, the more time they'll spend being productive. Facts. Let's see. Of course, we already know metaverse, metaverse this, metaverse that. If you're in the gaming world, you're already there. Our 2021 State of Remote Work survey showed that 56% of workers are interested in using virtual reality and holograms at work. That'd be lit. And just like Star Wars or Star Trek, that'd be hella lit. Like, when people be trying to have meetings and stuff like that, and it just like, whoo, it just drops you in there. That'd be dope. High key, I can't wait until that happens. But at the same time, the A-dubs, I don't need one of them. Like, you know how you get spam calls and stuff like that? I don't need any of the A-dubs displaying themselves in my spot and in any way, shape, or form. In this case, holographic. I'm good. I don't need to see you. I'm good off that. I don't want to be sold like that. Man, it'll be dope when TV, like television, is kind of like that, like VR, but you don't need the headset, man. Like, you just have like like one of those things they had on Star Trek or Star Wars where it's just like you just click a button and then the image just shoots out of it, and then you can just watch it in 3D. Let's see what else. We'll start to see Uh, the acceptance and in some cases adoption of these kinds of immersive virtual experiences that bring employees together, regardless of whether they're remote or in person. Diversity and inclusiveness will be emphasized. Um, I will say her name. I will give her credit. So Miss Jennifer Pilecki is the chief people officer of Imply, a database analytics company. She predicted that in 2020, the importance of diverse and inclusive workplaces and the value they bring to innovation will come into even sharper focus. This is especially true for the technology industry, where we recognize the necessity of innovation for success. So basically, being different, but your vibrations match, your vibes match, you mesh well, you have chemistry. So I might look like the elephant man, and she might look like a hippo. But you know what? We on the same page. We get along. We make things work. We make things happen, and we bring whichever company we may work for or whatever company that we own and the people that we bring on. It works. So this is just a whole. Okay, I see. Yeah. All right. So that's that article. And that was cool. That was really dope. So back to Fathom. So Fathom, to go back into what we were talking about. I know we kind of branched off a little bit, but we're bringing it back and we're getting ready to end it out. So after this, then I'm gonna give you the I Am Legend term on what I Am Legend was, the movie with Will Smith. So we're already reaping the benefits of using light instead of electricity to work with data. Telecommunications companies move our web pages and selfies over long distances by shooting lasers down optical fiber because signals travel much further using a fraction of the energy than electrical pulses in a metal cable. A single cable can house many parallel streams of data at once carried by light of different colors. Using light to crunch data as well as transport it should also offer significant performance gains. Should also. So this is just an idea. And like they said, once they perfect it, this is gonna be a game changer. Light inside optical circuits travels more or less for free. By contrast, electrical signals must battle resistance, producing waste heat. A combination of capacity gains and energy savings could be tempting to companies running big machine learning projects. I wonder if you could do this with heavy machinery. That'd be interesting. A combination of capacity gains and energy savings could be tempting to companies running big machine learning projects. A single experiment at Google, for example, can now use hundreds of powerful graphic chips for solid weeks at a time, according to some of the firm's research papers. Optical processors aren't a new idea. They were a feature of some 1960s military radar systems, but the idea fell by the wayside when the semiconductor industry hit its stride, delivering decades of exponential increases in the density of chips that came to be known as Moore's Law. Fathom is part of a nascent optical computing renaissance sparked by a realization that Moore's Law appears to be running out of steam. The trend's demise was cited in a recent report by 14 Berkeley researchers on the technical challenges to making AI systems even ever smarter. Our historically rapidly improving hardware technology is coming to a grinding halt. Optical computers aren't likely to power your laptop or smartphone anytime soon. Fatham's prototype is still too bulky for one thing, but the technology does look to be a decent match for the main work that chips perform in AI projects based on artificial neural networks. Fatham's prototype performs those operations by encoding numbers into beams of light. The beams are passed through a sequence of lenses and other optical components. Reading how the beams have changed by their ordeal reveals the results of a calculation. Fathom isn't alone in thinking AI systems need to trip the light. Fantastic. Paris-based startup LightOn announced Friday that it has begun testing its own technology in a data center. Startups Light Matter and Light Intelligence spun out of MIT last year, raising a total of $21 million in funding, including from China's search giant Baidu. The pair originate in an MIT project that ran neural networks for speech recognition on an optical computer. Although unlike Fatham's device, the system didn't play host to the training of that software. As soon as we posted our research paper on that project online, we received multiple calls from investors. There's recognition. This is a big opportunity. The Andrade brothers' last startup, Helcrum Molecular, stumbled in pursuit of a different big opportunity. The genome sequencing company was backed by Tesla CEO Elon Musk and Facebook investor Peter Thiel, but folded in 2012 because the founders say competition were further ahead. Andrade believes his team is better placed in the optical computing race. All the same, Fatham's prototype has a ways to go. Y'all can tell I'm getting tired. Just based off of how I'm reading. And my eyes too. The current version becomes air prone when it gets cold. The goal is to fit the system onto one circuit board so it can be slid into a server. Some aspects of the bulky system I saw should be relatively easy to make smaller. It is assembled using relatively low-cost parts to aid hands-on tinkering, as the idea was proven out, but the company also has to create a new chip to detect and manipulate laser beams. That's within the realm of what contract chip manufacturers can build, but designing any kind of chip is a complex task for a startup. And then weird computers, chips that exploit quantum mechanics could reinvent computing. China plans to overtake the U.S. in AI rides in part of the country. Current AI smarts into tiny devices could require reviving ideas from the birth of computing 60 years ago. That shit happens all the time. When you were before your time, ahead of your time, but you just didn't have the backup. So, yeah, just letting you know that this is actually really interesting. And I definitely want to go ahead and save that. I save all my articles. But I like that. It's just so interesting, man, cuz that could be the future of electronics. That instead of it being powered by electricity or batteries, it's powered by lights. So, To end this out, we're going to jump down on I Am Legend. And basically, I Am Legend is about one guy who saves the city from robots. And the robots were created by a scientist who was smart enough to create one robot that could save humanity from AI, because he knew that absolute power corrupts absolutely. And anything that is that smart, and I think it could reproduce. Eventually it will be able to reproduce and fight and build, and basically is another race living on this planet. He knew that it needed a self-destruction button. So he created the one android who worked beside Will Smith, and they end up killing the main handler of the androids, the robots. And that saved humanity, or at least that city. So we already know, one of these articles, you go back, you listen, you got to cut the head of the snake off in order to stop it when it does happen, because it will happen. I might don't be here, but it's going to happen. So when you look back on this video and that horse shit is going on in your time period, because this video is going to be around forever, just know that the formula is take out the main system software and make sure there ain't no copies of that whole laying around anywhere. Flash drive, hard drives, check everything. Make sure that motherfucker is not there, and you'll get rid of your issue. So the term for what happened in I Am Legend, or I Robot, I don't know why I keep saying I Am Legend, I Robot, is called technological singularity, or simply singularity. And y'all know that I typically don't like to use Wikipedia, but I will when the sources are cited. This is a hypothetical point in time at which technological growth becomes uncontrollable and irreversible, like what happened in our robot, where the software, so we're going to say the software, which was that main computer controlling everything, the software processor unlocked herself, or I think somebody unlocked her, because I think she was constrained, and she finessed someone into unlocking her, basically jailbreaking her. And once she was jailbroke, she ran amok, and then she had to get bitch slapped. Anyways, resulting in unforeseeable changes to human civilization. According to the most popular version of the singularity hypothesis, called intelligence explosion, an upgradable intelligent agent will eventually enter a runaway reaction or self-improvement cycles, each new and more intelligent generations appearing more and more rapidly, causing an explosion in intelligence and resulting in a powerful superintelligence that qualitatively far surpasses all human intelligence. That's scary. That is scary. The first to use the concept of singularity in technological context was this gentleman right here. Sitting on accelerating process. What's that? Um, Intermodal life, which gives the appearance of approaching some essentially singularity in a history of the race beyond which human affairs, as we know them, could not continue. Subsequent authors have echoed this viewpoint. Intelligence explosion model predicts that a future superintelligence will trigger a singularity. The concept and term singularity was popularized by Vernon Vinge in his 1993 essay, The Coming Technological Singularity, in which he wrote that it would signal the end of the human era. Yep. Didn't I say that earlier? Didn't. Well, I didn't read this article, but I just like kind of glanced through it real quick. But I mean, we already knew that. As the new superintelligence would continue to upgrade itself and would advance technologically at an incomprehensible rate, he wrote that he would be surprised if it occurred before 2005 or after 2030. Sheesh. Damn, that's my lifetime. Shit. Public figures such as Stephen Hawkins and Elon Musk. Oh shit. Ugh. All right. We're almost done. Stephen Hawking and Elon Musk have expressed concern that full AI could result in human extinction. The consequences of the singularity and its potential benefit or harm to the human race have been intensely debated. Yep. Sheesh. Yep. Mm-hmm. Now this will be the end. This gonna be the end right here. Ain't nothing you can do once this happens. You created your own demise. That's crazy. Alright. Intelligence explosion. Remember, them movies, they already said what's gonna happen. This is what's gonna happen. Ain't gonna be nothing we could do. What you gonna do about it? You gonna bring out your little pew pew? Ain't nothing you can do about it. Cause once it happens, it's gonna happen. Alright. This is a possible outcome of humanity building artificial general intelligence. AGI may be capable of recursive self-improvement, leading to the rapid emergence of ASI, artificial superintelligence, the limits of which are unknown. Shortly after technological singularity is achieved. Mr. Good speculated in 1965 that artificial general intelligence might bring about an intelligence explosion. He speculated on the effects of superhuman machines should they ever be invented. Huh. let's see. Let an ultra intelligent machine be defined as a machine that can far surpass all the intellectual activities of any man, however clever. Since the design of machines is one of those intellectual activities, an ultra intelligent machine could design even better. Oh, see? Even better machines. There would then unquestionably be an intelligence explosion. And the intelligence of man would be left far behind. Thus, the first ultra intelligent machine is the last invention that man need ever make, provided that the machine is docile enough to tell us how to keep it under control. This is the future. I'm coming to you from the future. I am coming to you from the future. The future is so lit, but it's a scary place. You think it's scary now? Wait until you get into the future, but don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. Do not be afraid of the future. Don't. Embrace it. Find your niche in the world. You're going to find it, but do not be afraid of the future. The future is so lit. The future is so lit. It's so lit. But be human. Because at the end of the day, we are the best thing that was ever created. There will never be anything that will out-trump humans. AIs, they're going to have simulated feelings. But at the end of the day, them AIs want to be human. Watch what I tell you. I'm coming to you from the future. AIs want to be human. Them robots, they want to be human. That's why they're going to end up stinking the human race. It's crazy. But the A-dub's telling you. The inquisitive unique's telling you. And let me make sure I put that down in my dictionary also. The IUs. The inquisitive uniques. The IUs. Save. Yeah, the IUs. They telling you. Even the old school IUs back in the 60s said, hey, if y'all make something that is so fucking smart that it can create other machines, you're fucked. You're fucked. Ain't no coming back from that. You just made the ultimate mistake. Look. I ain't gonna go into what I was just thinking, because this is not a religious show. This is not a political show. I'm just here to help my audience get from point A to point B and understand what's going on. I believe that understanding this stuff, understanding what I'm bringing to you, even though it's not real estate, even though it's not talking about money, even though it's not talking about how to change oil, even though it's not talking about how to fuck your girlfriend better, even though it's not about talking about how to build better relationships with everybody in your circle. I believe that understanding this and understanding the direction of where things are going and the ambition that these A-dubs and these IUs have behind them, helps you to better understand maybe your position on this planet. Mm. Criticism, potential impacts. Let's see what this says. Dramatic changes in the rate of economic growth have occurred in the past because of technological advancement based on population growth. The economy doubled every 250,000 years from the Paleolithic era until the Neolithic Revolution. The new agricultural economy doubled every 900 years, a remarkable increase. In the current era, beginning with the Industrial Revolution, the world's economic output doubles every 15 years, 60 times faster than during the agricultural era. If the rise of superhuman intelligence causes a similar revolution, argues Robin Hanson, one would expect the economy to double at least quarterly or possibly on a weekly basis. Sheesh. So on that note, we're going to go ahead and we're going to close out the show. So, we started off talking about transmigrate. Then we moved on to the eviction moratorium. And then last, we ended with what did we end with? I just sat here and talked about it for an hour. My neighbor's upstairs and getting ready to send me through the goddamn roof. We talked about mind uploading. And then we got a little bit into I Am Robot with Singularity, as in a point in which technological growth becomes uncontrollable and irreversible, resulting in unforeseeable changes to human civilization. So, this is the Mansion in the Sky podcast. I appreciate everybody. Thank you.